I did not leave through the front door. I left through the gaps in his stories. I didn't stop loving Arthur. I just stopped tending the garden of our shared truth. My silence wasn't a lack of noise. It was a withdrawal of my presence, one unspoken word at a time. In our 30s, my voice was the lighthouse that kept his memories from hitting the rocks. It was Tuesday, Arthur, I'd say, or the dog's name was Buster, not Buddy. Back then, the friction felt like heat. It was how I held him close. But slowly, the lighthouse went dark. I told myself I was being patient, but I was actually just cutting the anchor and letting the ship drift out to sea. The realization arrived during Sunday dinner. Arthur was telling our son the story of our first date, his favorite lie. He spoke of rain and a red umbrella. In reality, it was a sweltering July afternoon in a crowded subway station. There was no umbrella. I sat there watching the steam rise from my tea. My son looked at me, waiting for the playful nudge that usually brought Arthur back to earth. When it didn't come, his smile faded. He saw it before Arthur did. I was already gone. We think that by avoiding small arguments, we are preserving the peace. But a marriage without the effort of correction is just two people living in different time zones. I had spent a decade waiting for him to notice my silence, never realizing he had grown comfortable in a world where I didn't exist to challenge him. Nothing dramatic was lost. No shouting, no broken glass. Only the reality of 40 years evaporated. That night, Arthur got the year wrong again. 1982, he said with a confident nod. It was 1976. I felt a sudden, terrifying lightness. By not correcting him, I had let him overwrite my own history. I wasn't his partner anymore. I was a ghost in a story he was telling to himself. I didn't argue. I just turned out the bedside lamp, leaving him in a dark he didn't even know was there. Silence isn't always a sign of peace. Often, it's the sound of someone deciding you are no longer worth the breath. You don't lose your life in a single moment. You lose it in the small things you decide aren't worth fighting for. Time doesn't forgive the choices you made while you were waiting for the right moment to be real.